Okay, welcome to your deep dive. We're digging into that stack of sources you shared with us, all focused on some pretty interesting recent stuff in, gaming and also those daily puzzles lots of us do.
That's right. And our mission here, really, is to cut through the noise, pull out the key insights, the interesting bits from your material, make it a deep dive just for you.
So, what's on the list today? We're going to look at some big game releases that just landed. We'll touch on highlights from those popular daily puzzles you flagged, and then get into the latest intriguing details about Nintendo's next console.
Yeah, and we're pulling this all straight from the material you sent over. So let's unpack what your sources were saying.
Okay, kicking things off with game launches, recent ones. Your sources highlighted a few key titles. First up, Doom, The Dark Ages. That was what, May 15th? What did your source focus on there?
Well, what really stood out in your material was how it described this one. Like a gritty, medieval-themed take on the classic FPS. It's kind of fascinating, isn't it? How these big franchises explore such different themes, really leaning into that Dark Ages thing.
Yeah, a total switch from the usual Space Marine vibe. And then, like, completely different, May 21st brought Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time. Your source flagged this as a whimsical life sim RPG from level 5.
Right. The sheer range of genres just in a few days, as shown in your sources, is pretty remarkable. You bounce from intense demon stuff to this cozy life sim about stealing time. It shows how diverse gaming is right now, something for totally different moods, different players.
Absolutely. And then rounding out the month, May 30th, is that huge expansion for Elden Ring. It's called Night Rain. Your source definitely pointed to this one, a big deal for action RPG fans.
Right. Yeah, and connecting those dots from your sources, it's not just new games. It's major updates, it's genre experiments, all happening kind of side by side across the industry. Your material also gave a quick mention to others, like Revenge of the Savage Planet, The Precinct. Suggests there's even more out there if you dig deeper.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit. From those big launches to the smaller daily gaming habits that hook so many of us, your sources had specifics from some popular daily puzzles this week. For Wordle, the solution for puzzle number 1436 was prize.
Hmm, prize. And sometimes those simple-seeming words can be the trickiest,
Yeah.
right? Your source just gave the answer, but, it makes you wonder if it was a tough board that day. Maybe just a common word people overlook.
Good point. Okay, moving to NYT connections. Puzzle number 714. Your source listed the categories as types of cheese and ballet terms.
Hey, okay, now those are two categories I wouldn't immediately link. Your source highlighting those specifically probably means they were the ones that gave that aha moment, or maybe caused some trouble for you. Yeah.
Definitely a fun pairing. And lastly, for NYT strands, your source noted the spangram was spring cleaning.
Very seasonal. Right. So these little puzzle details from your sources, they show that even in these quick daily games, there are these unique moments. Could be a surprising wordle, those odd connection categories, or just a timely spangram.
Now let's look ahead, specifically what your sources revealed about the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2. This is where it gets really interesting based on the details you shared.
Yeah, what jumps right out from your material is the mention of a potential launch title, Mario Kart World.
Mario Kart World. Wow. Your source describes it as an open world off-road racing game. I mean, that sounds like a huge departure for the series we know. What did your source kind of imply about that shift?
Exactly. Taking a series everyone loves, which is
Yeah.
usually on tracks, right? And just dropping it into an open off-road world. Well, according to your source, that feels like a really bold statement. It kind of suggests maybe a focus on exploration. Different vehicles for different terrain, maybe less linear than before. Your source flagging this suggests it's probably seen as a key selling point for the new console.
And we also got a possible timeline for actually trying the new hardware. Your source pointed to public demos being scheduled to start in April.
Uh-huh. That detail from your source, that's pretty crucial. April demos. It means Nintendo is likely getting ready to show off the console's power and maybe launch titles like this new Mario Kart World fairly soon. It definitely raises questions about their whole reveal plan. What they want players to feel when they first try it.
Right. So looking back at everything we've kind of pulled from your sources today, we touched on those genre-hopping game releases this week, the medieval Doom, the Dark Ages, the cozy Fantasy Life I, plus that big Elden Ring expansion, Night Rain. We got into the specifics of your daily puzzles, the word prize, those distinct NYT connections groups, cheese and ballet, and the NYT strands, spangram, spring cleaning.
And we pulled out those really fascinating bits about the Nintendo Switch 2 from your material,
Yeah.
especially that, well, eye-opening description of an open-world Mario Kart world and the timeline pointing towards public demos in April.
It really is fascinating, isn't it? Just the sheer range of stuff happening in gaming, from huge open worlds down to those little daily brain teasers.
Thinking about that open-world off-road Mario Kart idea your source brought up, it does raise a pretty compelling question. Thinking about the future.
Yeah.
What is this trend, this shift towards reinventing beloved franchises in totally new ways? What does it suggest about where games are heading? About player expectations, design innovation, just something interesting to mull over from the material you provided.
Well, thanks for letting us take this deep dive into your source.